Hello, and a very warm welcome back. I am Sam, your lead tutor and mentor for the Digital and Technology Solutions Professional Degree Apprenticeship. It is fantastic to have you with me today. Over our journey, we have built a powerful playbook. We have analyzed problems, designed solutions, and managed change. Today's topic is S31, evaluating the success of new systems, processes, or initiatives. The core concept here is proof of value. This is the moment of truth where we go back to the promises we made at the start of the project and prove, with hard evidence, that we delivered on them. Let us use an analogy. A chef can spend months developing a brilliant new recipe. That is the project. However, the job is not truly a success until the food critics taste the dish and award it a Michelin star. That review is the evaluation. Our goal today is to master this structured evaluation process. It is how you earn your professional Michelin stars, closing the loop on the entire consulting lifecycle and building an irrefutable reputation. Let us use my scaffold and ascend method to break this skill down. I want you to view this not as an isolated task, but as the final connection in what I call the golden thread of value. Think back to S26. In that business case, you made a clear promise to the client about the financial and operational benefits the project would deliver. That was the start of the thread. Then, during S29, while managing stakeholder change, you began the process of tracking those benefits through a benefits realization plan. Now, with S31, we reach the proof. You extract the data, measure the actual outcomes, and formally report back to the business. The vital mindset shift here is understanding that evaluation is never an afterthought. You cannot evaluate a system if you did not define your success metrics before you started building it. Have you ever reached the end of a project and realized no one knew how to measure its success? We must eliminate that risk. Why is this final skill so critical for your career? Because it is the most powerful tool you have for silencing imposter syndrome. First, it replaces subjective opinion with objective evidence. You no longer have to cross your fingers and hope the project went well. You possess a report with hard data that proves it went well. Second, it demonstrates immense accountability. Reporting proactively on a project, even if a target was missed, shows professional maturity. It proves to the client that you are a trusted partner, not just a vendor who disappears after go live. Third, it secures future work. A well-written evaluation report is a real-world case study of your competence. It is the perfect tool to justify a Phase 2 budget. Ultimately, it elevates your role. Having tangible, measurable proof of the positive impact you have had on a business permanently silences any lingering self-doubt about your abilities. Let us get practical. A robust evaluation requires a measurement framework established at the very beginning. You execute this using your finalized benefits realization plan. You start by listing the promised benefit and defining the exact metric, or KPI, you will use. You must also specify the data source. Where exactly is this number coming from? Next is the baseline. This is the step most junior consultants forget, and it is catastrophic. You must measure the KPI before the project starts. If you do not know the sales cycle was 60 days before the new CRM, you cannot prove you reduced it to 45 days. You then define the target you are aiming for, based on your business case. Finally, you agree on the timeline. When will the final evaluation measurement be taken? Typically, this is 3 to 6 months post-launch to allow the system to settle. Once your agreed-upon timeline is reached, you must gather your evidence. A world-class evaluation requires two distinct types of data, the numbers and the narrative. First, you gather quantitative data. This is the what. You simply execute your framework, extracting the hard KPI from your agreed data sources. This provides the objective proof of success. However, cognitive bias often makes us assume numbers tell the whole truth. They do not. If adoption is at 50%, the data cannot tell you why. This is why you must gather qualitative data, the why. This is where your interpersonal skills shine. You deploy short user surveys or conduct 15-minute interviews with key stakeholders. You ask open-ended questions like, what specific feature of the new system frustrates you the most? The synergy of hard analytics and human empathy gives you the deep insights required for a true evaluation. With your evidence gathered, you must now analyze the results. Your job is not just to hand over a spreadsheet, it is to interpret the data for the client. The most effective way to present this is using a RAG status, red, amber, or green. You compare the actual result to the target. Green means you met or beat the target. Amber means you made progress but fell short. Red means the target was missed significantly. This gives executives instant visual clarity. Now, listen carefully. If a target is amber or red, do not hide it or make excuses. That destroys trust. Instead, perform a root cause analysis. Did you miss the target because the initial baseline was flawed? Did the users require more training than anticipated? By owning the misses and explaining the why, you demonstrate unparalleled professional integrity. Let us look at S31 in action. Imagine it is 3 months after launching a new CRM. You must report back to the project sponsor. You do not write a 50-page document. You create a sharp, 1-page executive summary. You include visual data, such as a simple bar chart proving you took the baseline sales cycle from 60 days down to an actual result of 48 days. Crucially, you include the user voice. You embed a direct quote from the head of sales saying, "This system saves us hours of admin every week." This validates the data with human emotion. Finally, you document your next steps. If mobile adoption was marked as an amber status, you propose a targeted phase 2 initiative to fix the UI. The client sees a transparent, successful project and instantly approves your next recommendation. For your portfolio, S31 provides the ultimate proof of your consulting maturity. Structure your evidence using the STARR method. Situation: the client had recently launched a new data automation tool, but leadership lacked visibility regarding its actual return on investment. Task: my task was to design and execute a formal post-implementation evaluation to determine the initiative's success. Action: I extracted quantitative baseline data from the legacy system and compared it to current performance metrics. I also conducted qualitative interviews with the data entry team to understand their new workflows. Result: I presented a concise RAG status report to the board, definitively proving a 30% reduction in processing time. Reflection: I learned that transparently evaluating and reporting on success is the single most effective way to secure long-term client trust. If you are finalizing your major project, Skill 31 forms your critical concluding chapter. You must include a formal evaluation section. You must insert a completed benefits realization table directly into the report, explicitly showing your baseline, target, and actual metrics. Do not just dump the data, you must interpret it. Explain why certain targets were exceeded and critically analyze any variances where targets were missed. You must also include a lessons learned section, documenting what went perfectly and what you would adapt in future implementations. Why is this mandatory? Because it proves to the EPA assessor that you operate as a senior consultant who delivers measurable business value, completing the full consulting cycle. To conclude today's session, the vital takeaway is that your consulting journey on any project only ends when the value is definitively measured and proven. Your playbook is complete. Plan your metrics at the very beginning, gather both quantitative and qualitative evidence, and report your findings with total transparency using RAG statuses. By mastering these skills from S24 through to S31, you have undergone a transformation. You now possess the professional frameworks to step away from being a mere order taker and act as a trusted, strategic advisor. You can rely on objective data, rather than guesswork, to validate your impact. Your next step is to draft a success scorecard for your current workplace project. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you now feel more confident in mastering this topic. If you found value in this session, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and follow our channel. It really means a lot to me and helps the algorithm show these lessons to other apprentices, just like you, who need support. Don't forget, you can download today's slides and the full transcript at www.mentorinai.com EPAHUB. While you are there, check out our mock interview and portfolio review services to make sure you are fully ready for your EPA. See you in the next video. Keep learning.